thank you guys so much for hopping on and joining us today. We're going to be talking about mastering the evolving Amazon landscape for 2024. We have an amazing guest today from Seller Candy. We have Arvin. Thank you, Arvin, so much for being here. We're really excited to listen to you, your expertise, and how people can crush it on Amazon in 2024. So with that, I'll let you kind of give your background on Seller Candy and introduce yourself.
Yeah, thank you so much to Katie for inviting me. I'm just really excited to be here to share and impart some knowledge that I know about Amazon, especially on troubleshooting any of your listing issues or maybe anything related to FBA or catalog. For those who don't know Seller Candy, who we are actually an Amazon expert who offer like operational support to any seller or also agencies because you know a lot of things happening on your Seller Central account and you definitely need help or someone that who know and understand how to work with seller support in getting things resolved, may it be on catalog, listing issues, suppressed, stranded, or even account health violations. And what do? We take away the pain of you talking with seller support. We know how difficult it is right now to be in contact with seller support and getting the answer that we're looking for. With our tagline, never talk to seller support again, is that we will take away all that pain of dealing with them and not that we're just going to raise a case or call them, we're actually going to troubleshoot your listing issues or FBA issues. And if let's say we have exhausted all of the troubleshooting processes, then that's the only time that we will reach out because the goal of dealing with seller support is actually to reach the captive team or their leadership team because they are the only one who has access to edit or to manipulate any information on your listing. The seller support acts just like customer service who will just entertain you and try to give you an answer that doesn't really answer your questions. And how we are different, yeah, most of our team are actually former Amazon support. Some of them also work directly with big Amazon sellers. We do have a platform where we communicate with our client. You can consider Seller Candy as an extension of your team or also the better seller support experience. So instead of you logging your cases inside Seller Central and worrying the next day that you will just get another counter response, our team will make sure that you will get the answer that you're looking for, and there will only be one person working on your account or on your issues until it is resolved. So yeah, that's our candy for you. Maybe you can help me move to the next slide, Katie.
Yep, of course.
Thanks. Just a little bit of introduction about me. Why you have to listen to me. I am currently the chief delivery officer currently. Yeah, no, just kidding. I am the chief delivery officer at Seller Candy. I work with our CEO for 8 years now. So we started selling on Amazon and then launched full management agencies. And then in 2020, we launched the Seller Candy, where I help him more on the delivery side or operational side. And I establish all the processes and hiring and training our team. I am a financial planning analyst by profession. I do love numbers. I do love right now. I do love Amazon reports. There's so much things you can do with Amazon reports, including reimbursement and projecting inventory. And I have over 8 years of experience now with Amazon, not only in one marketplace also in different product niches and all across marketplaces right now except China because it's hard to penetrate China at the moment. So I have managed more than 300 Amazon accounts. Actually, I stopped counting over a year ago, so maybe more than that. So I have dealt with different issues on different categories and in different marketplaces. I've started doing podcasts last quarter of 2023 and I enjoyed it. I love this kind of conversation where I can share my knowledge and insight about things, especially Amazon. And yeah, I also managed to grow an Amazon account to over 3 million before switching to what I'm doing right now. I have hired and trained our teams, mostly coming from the Philippines because I'm also a Filipino. But yeah, and then being that we also work not only with sellers, I have also right now working with more than 50 Amazon agencies as their operation support on troubleshooting anything happening on their Seller Central. So that's enough about me, guys. Let's move to the next slide.
Yeah, so I just wanted to touch on this. Obviously, Amazon, huge marketplace, and it's going to remain the top retailer going into 2024. So this is a great time to have this conversation and discuss, trends and things that may you may see coming up here in 2024. And so with that, I want to pose the question to Arvin of what trends do Amazon sellers need to know about in 2024? If you want to give maybe like some of the top ones that you expect to see.
Well, right now with the AI thing, what I'm really anticipating is that there will be a lot of changes when it comes to uploading a listing via flat file. And then also, what I can see, and I don't know, I have heard it somewhere that the way, maybe just me making a hypothesis in here, that the way that the how customer will look for products instead of just focusing on keyword, they're probably going to use ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT what's the right product to buy, or maybe, and then you can provide me a link and that I can buy it, things like that. So those are the things that if I am a seller right now, will probably consider when it comes to PPC and marketing. Um, yeah, just ChatGPT is something to really look at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. AI is starting to take over the world. So I definitely see that being a bigger trend in 2024 on Amazon. Cool.
Mhm.
So I just wanted to touch in on a few other things. So oh, one more back. Sorry. So there will be a low-level inventory fee in April 2024. So keep an eye out on that.
Mhm.
And then you'll be charged if inventory levels fall below 4 weeks of coverage based on historical demand. So just another good thing to keep in mind as you're planning for 2024.
Yeah,
And then
just
also,
to touch.
yeah,
Sorry, go ahead.
no, go
Yeah,
for
I
it.
just
What do
want to
you?
add some information about this one because, as I said earlier, I'm a financial analyst by profession. So for me, projecting inventory based on the demand or sales over the last 7 days, 30 days, and or even 90 days, getting the average of that, and then identifying your lead time or the amount of time that you need to produce your product and send it to Amazon so that you can actually estimate how much inventory do you really need to keep in Amazon warehouse in let's say the next 3 months or 6 months. So those are the other things to consider so that if you don't want to be charged for low level inventory or even having so much inventory in Amazon warehouse. So yeah, sorry, I just want to add that.
No, it's perfect. Please add whenever you can. I love it. Awesome. All right. So the next one, so improving FBA margins. So another couple things to keep in mind is product dimensions and packaging can have a large impact on profitability. So keep that in mind when you're planning. And then even a dollar cost reduction in packaging can lead to thousands saved in FBA fees. Again, really good point to remember going into this year.
Yeah.
And then upgrading your product images on Amazon can really help, you know, drive some sales.
Yeah, just echoing on the product dimension, actually, it is really important for seller to really understand the product tier sizing
Mhm.
because that's where Amazon is basing their FBA fees, especially if you're just be doing full FBA inventory. If you have, understanding how much Amazon will charge you for small, standard size or oversized, because yeah, if the calculation and how it is, it's actually not hidden. You probably would know based on the help pages and how much you will be charged for this dimension of the packing, uh the shipping boxes rather. So yeah.
Smart. Love it. Awesome. So focus on improving your brand. So upgrading your product images. I mentioned that on the last one can really increase overall conversion rate. There are many AI tools available to help. Arvin touched on that. The AI is definitely going to be a big one. So I would say definitely start looking into some tools that, can really help make your images look sleek and engaging. And then also include infographics that convey product information so people can see a little bit more before, clicking into it of what it may be offering you or some features about it or something like that. So again, good points to keep in mind.
Yeah, actually, I mean, I don't know if you've seen this one, but I saw one of the podcasts from one of the big contributors in this industry that Amazon actually now require three main images. One, and not main images, because we know that the main image should be just white, and then the other one is like a lifestyle image, and the third one is infographics, as you mentioned in here. But if you don't have this one, Amazon will actually just allow any random sellers, or they will just add it that images or infographics or even the lifestyle images on your listing if you don't have that. So make sure that you take note of this one and updated your images because yeah, Amazon may just randomly add images on your listing soon.
Yeah, that's good to know. So definitely take note of that, everybody. Awesome. So this is a question for Arvin. So how will dealing with seller support change in 2024? I know this is kind of your bread and butter, so I would love to hear from you on how dealing with them might
Yeah.
change.
Actually, I see it will become more difficult. Like just talking about the account health violations right now. I think it's just because of the AI as well that Amazon is becoming more stricter and stricter when it comes to the appeal. Recently, I worked with one of the account, and Amazon informed me that we're no longer accepting a plan of action because everyone can write a really nice plan of action through ChatGPT, right, or to any AI there. So right now, what they're asking is if you're not agreeing with this violation on your selling account, then provide us with evidences. So you have to provide us like one example, the product has been categorized as defective. Then you need to provide us why it is not defective. You provide us like an instruction on how to use the product. You provide us a QA report. You provide us that you communicated with your customer. You provide us information that you actually updated your listing to make sure that any confusion are all answered and all other things. So it will become difficult as I can see in 2024, and there will be more changes. The seller support right now, the first level of support that you will be contacting to, or that you will be, who will receive rather your call, try to avoid them and make sure that you done all of the troubleshooting processes before you start raising cases. Because if not, you will just run to circles with them. That they will tell you to delete your listing or update this information, and it is actually just going to waste your time.
Awesome. Thanks for
Mm.
sharing that. And then I think this kind of goes a little bit more into it, so I'll let you take it away.
Yeah, thanks, Katie. Yeah,
Yeah.
so the most common problem that most sellers have right now is just actually trying to understand the seller support because they have their own language that they're using. And usually the confusion between the seller support and the sellers because they don't really understand each other. So my goal right now is actually to try and give you some insights on how to actually deal with seller support. Can you help me move it to the next slide?
Sure can.
So the first one, yeah, if you have issues about the buy box or even with the indexing or anything related to algorithm, Amazon support won't be able to give you an answer on that because yeah, there's no process known within the seller support team to answer this question. Actually, the way to do this is to actually look at the data. For example, the buy box. What is the reason why you are losing the buy box? Is it because you have to look at the other marketplaces or even the other platform where the products are listed, may it be on eBay or even on Wish.com, and then check how much price they're offering in there. And maybe that's the reason why Amazon tagged it as, or you lose the buyback because you're either selling too low or too high. And even on the indexing, just looking back at the back end of the listing, is it the keyword that you want to be indexed? Is it missing something? So, and then if let's say if it is in there and you're still missing something, then that's the time that you will raise a case. Also, sometimes you have to delete and release your listing because you probably just really need to refresh your listing and it will be updated on the catalog. The capture team are the one responsible in making sure that the information you have on your seller central account or on your listing are accurate. So if you have that issue and then you need to get it updated, the goal is actually to reach the captive team and try as much as possible to avoid the seller support team, but provide that you have done everything to try to troubleshoot their issue because the seller support team will not transfer you to their captive team if you haven't done anything. They will just tell you that these are the things that you need to do, and I need evidence that you've done this. Same with the IIDP team. They are the only one who has access to this information. And this is maybe something that you can use whenever you're raising the cases. That, hey, I have already raised this, or I've already uploaded the flat file. Here's the batch ID. Here's all the documents that you need to accept this change or this to update the listing information. Can you please transfer me to your captive team or to even to the IIDP team who can do these changes? So next slide, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, feel free to ask question, guys, if you have any. I'll try to answer them. So, and then yeah, always feel free to create a case or do a call. One instance that I can share with you why it is important to actually call Amazon is actually they will give you more information on what's happening or what do you need to provide. On that example that I shared earlier, Amazon will they keep rejecting the appeal that provided, even though I have been complying on what they're telling me to do to reinstate the ASIN. And from every time that I will call, they will give me a different reason why it got rejected. So it's not just about resubmitting the case, even though you believe that you have already everything. Amazon support or even the seller performance team, they will tell you more information. What are the things that you need to add to your to your appeal or to whatever you need to do on your seller central account. And another one, let's make sure that you're speaking the same language. There will be instance that you will have an issue with the with your German marketplace, and obviously you cannot speak German. What I'll do is instead of contacting them through the German marketplace, I will raise a case in the UK marketplace and just tell them that I have this issue on my German listing. Can you please look at it? Because even if, let's say, you call them and ask for support when you are logged into their German marketplace and you request for for the call to be transferred to someone who can speak in English, what they'll do is just transfer you to their UK department. So it's just the same thing. So you're not gonna waste time and you know.
Yeah.
So
Might as
yeah,
well go straight to the source.
that is true. Okay, so so in order for you to actually get your cases resolved, these are the things that you really need to remember. One, yeah, you need to know how to communicate with Amazon based on some of the information that I shared with you, and it is also very important to make sure that you have gone through all of the processes that Amazon will ask you to do, so that you will not waste time talking to the seller support team. The one example is deleting the listing again and relisting it. I just want to add there, when you are deleting the listing and relisting it, make sure that you are doing both via flat file so that you can generate a batch ID, and it will also give you a timestamp, because the minimum requirement of Amazon is you delete it for at least 24 hours. And because if you just delete it manually and add it manually, you won't be able to provide any reference that you have deleted it, because they won't be able to track it. And yeah, just listening to them sometimes doesn't make sense, because it will just they will not give you the answer that you're looking for. So yeah, try to make sure that you have done all of these, or maybe ask for some expert advice on how to do this or to resolve these issues. And yeah, the last part in here, as I've said, the ultimate goal is to reach their leadership team, because they are the only one who has access to edit whatever is needed. Unlike before, in 2015 or 20 until 2017, when I was doing it, it's actually very easy to talk to seller support. They will do the extra mile for you. And that's how I learned, actually, because when I did this in 2015, with my accounting profession, I don't know anything about Amazon. And I learned doing all of this through the seller support team. And I'm just really frustrated that now it has changed and they're just following their help pages or the workflow. I don't know if you have any comment on that, Katie.
No, I mean, I agree. I think everything you said is great and super, super good, information to know. Awesome. I want
Yeah.
to pose another question here. So, what are some compliance issues that sellers should be aware of, especially for 2024?
Um, I think it will be the same thing, same requirement. Like for example, for health supplement. Right now, I am not seeing any category that Amazon will add additional compliance or any requirements. But just going back to, let's say, for example, like a toy category. The thing that I would like to add here is more on the technical side, not maybe not anything that will happen in 2024. If you have any document that is actually telling you that you are compliant, you have for example, in a toy category, they will ask you for a children product safety document and laboratory test, but Amazon will still reject it because they cannot really verify the document. The trick is you have to annotate your document. If you need to add the ASIN number in there on the document so that then they can reference it quickly, because when you submit your document, the seller support don't really know your product. That's why I always have this conversation with my friend that whenever you're dealing with seller support, you have to think that you're actually talking to a 9-year-old. Why? It's because they don't really know your product, right? So
Yeah.
it will really help them. It will really help them to review your document much faster if you annotate it, highlight the information that they are really looking for. It's not that they are really children checking it, but imagine how many documents that they are checking every day. If they receive a document that they see that doesn't make sense to them at first, they will just immediately decline it. So try to help the seller support as well and make it easy for them to verify your documents. Because annotating the document is not really fabricating it. It's just really adding more information on top of what it is already.
Yeah, that's great advice. I mean, you're helping them help you kind of thing. So giving them as much information as you can from the beginning definitely
Yeah.
makes it easier on everyone. Awesome. I'll let you kind of dive into these too.
No, it is actually just a meme that our team really love is Jeff Bezos, obviously. And whenever we're talking with a client, oops, actually Jeff Bezos sent you an email and this is it. And that email is telling you that one of your listing got suspended. What are you gonna do? And most sellers, they will actually, worry about it, panic. And the only thing that I want to tell you, don't guys, you just really more of assess it and try to troubleshoot. Assessing meaning what happened, so gathering all of this information and make sure that you are also backing up your listing by downloading the category listing report. In the past, you have to request for this category listing report to be enabled for you to download it. Right now, it's already available. In there, you just go to the reports inventory report, and then you can request for the category listing report to be downloaded. It's good to have it so whatever happens on whatever you're doing, because sometimes Amazon will ask you to remove any keyword that may potentially be triggering restrictions. So or any violation on their guidelines. So just try to make your listing generic. Then sometimes after you get it reinstated, you can always add it back. But just be careful because maybe that will trigger another thing. And just some troubleshooting processes in here that I can share based on some issues that we deal with every day for a product policy. It's just really sanitizing the listing. Look at any keyword or any images that is violating their guidelines. For example, would be if your listing is by mistake categorized as pesticide or pesticidal device,
Mhm.
look for any keyword that says microbial or antimicrobial on the listing, on the bullet points, and even on the images. Amazon, they have now a tool that is also detecting this violation even on the images. So it's not just really about the keyword on the back end or on the bullet points and description. Look even on the alt text that you added onto your A plus content or even maybe on your storefront. So make sure that all those that Amazon tell you to remove, you remove it. Even for the health supplements, there will be a lot of claims that maybe you need to add for you to generate more sales. Be extra careful on that because Amazon will yeah, like for example, diabetic products or one of the issue that I dealt with last time is a weight loss product. Amazon is actually asking it to be removed. So yeah. We do have a question. Is this something I should answer now or later?
Yeah, I
I'm
actually have a
just
few
sorry to up.
questions. Yeah, I wanted to take like a pause to ask a few
Mhm.
questions. So, I'll get to the one that's in Q&A, but my first question is maybe to avoid a listing suspension, how or like what advice would you give to optimize a listing, especially for like profitability as well, but also to avoid suspension?
Well, I mean, for me, it's just really easy. Just look at the guidelines of Amazon because it's always there in their Amazon, the help page. So maybe you have a product that you're eyeing to list on your listing. Before you even list it, try to look at the help page and see if there's any restriction for that specific category because it's always be available. Just use the search box on your Seller Central account and yeah, look for the any restriction on the product that you're listing because sometimes even though we are doing the keyword research using any tool that you available to you, and then they will give you a really nice a great search volume for a certain keyword, but just double checking is it okay to be added? So yeah, and then you'll be for anything that you think you need to add for a health claim, If you have an FDA certification or you have lab tests or anything like that to support your claim, it's okay to add them. But if you don't have, then try not to, because dealing with seller support, or asking them to reinstate a listing by that they miscategorize because of some certain code is actually really difficult. It takes some time. It's not impossible, it's just taking some time.
Gotcha. Thank you. And then I'm going to hop
No
over.
worries.
We had a question in the Q&A from an earlier slide, but Danielle is asking, is that new rule for 3 required images only for hardline products? I wasn't sure how to answer this one, so I was going to see if you maybe had a solid answer for this.
Actually, yeah, I cannot say if it is a new rule, but it's something that I saw, and it's I don't know if I can mention their name, but it's a trusted company that I am always following whenever with all of these updates. They mentioned that, yeah, you have to have a main image, which is just always in a white on a white background, a lifestyle image, and the infographics. If you don't have that, then Amazon will just add it there like randomly.
Awesome.
So yeah, it's good to
Cool.
optimize it.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and then I'll let you run through this, and then I have one more question kind of related to this topic, but we'll finish up these slides here.
Yeah, actually, if you can go back to the previous slide, I still have some
Oh yeah,
examples in there
sorry, I'm
already
moving ahead of
prepared.
you.
Oh, no worries. But yeah, so other issues, and maybe I can deal with two more because it will take really really long. The authenticity issue, I am mentioning again here about annotating your document, because it's really important for you to direct or guide the seller support that is verifying your invoices. Why is this authentic? Why is your product authentic? Where did you bought it? Is the supplier information? And aside from just providing the invoices, make sure that you're also you check the number of inventory that you've sent in the warehouse in the last 365 days. So for example, you've sent 1,000 units, but you're only providing them an invoice that is for 100 units, they will automatically decline it. So, and then lastly, for IP violation, Amazon will actually not accept anything, any invoice or anything that you think is will tell them that actually my product is legit. I'm not violating anything. The only thing that Amazon will do here to remove the violation is that you contact the brand owner or whoever reported you, because they will share with you the email address of the seller who reported you to through brand registry, and you have to work with them and ask them to retract the violation. And let's say you have been contacting them for a while now, you've sent several emails and you didn't hear back from them, you can also use that email that you've sent multiple emails, and you can submit an appeal that you've been trying to reach out and work it out with the brand owner or whoever reported it, but they are not willing to. But for a reseller, I don't know if there's any reseller in here. For the reseller, usually it's just really agreeing to them that I am not gonna sell this product again. If you can, I will remove my product, and please retract the violation.
Gotcha.
That's always our recommendation. Yeah, let's move on to the next one.
Yeah, quick question that I want to ask. So specifically for like seller candy. So if someone has a suspended listing and they come to you for help, how long is the process from, reporting the suspension to you to then resolving the issue and getting their product back live?
Yeah, if there are no underlying issue, actually, I would say, well, in simple cases, sometimes 2 to 4 days, but there will be cases that we have to work on that violation for 30 days. I mean, sad to say, but it's just really because it's really hard to deal with seller support right now. They
Mhm.
are very inconsistent with what they are telling you. Even the seller performance team, they will tell you today that I need you to do a bin check, and then tomorrow they will tell you that actually I need you to rephrase your appeal. So yeah, it's just a pain to deal with seller support. But our team will tell you, well, they will set the expectation, they will be clear on what the seller need to expect, and what's going to happen in the next few days.
Gotcha. Awesome. So you would say about 30 days then to get it resolved. Perfect. Awesome. I'll go to the next slide for you.
Yeah, and again, this is just echoing what I've said earlier, that if let's say, okay, you've done all the troubleshooting processes that I did earlier, then the thing that you need to do is to escalate. So it's either you reach the leadership team by telling them that, okay, this is what I've done, these are the invoices, these are the case IDs, but I'm still not getting the resolution that I'm looking for, then ask them to please transfer or escalate this one to the leadership team. I spoke to one of my team member that work with seller support in the past. They told me that if you use escalate on the case or transfer the case to their leadership team, they have no choice but to do it because it's part of their KPI. They will be if they will not transfer the case to someone above them, considering that you have done all of the troubleshooting processes, then they will be put under QA. So
Awesome.
they will definitely transfer the cases. So yeah, next slide. Okay. So yeah, just really a quick breakdown of what I've said earlier. Just assess what's going on, collect all of the information that you need. One thing I want to add on step one is not just really about acting fast. It's just making sure that you have all of the information, because Amazon, they also have like as to how many times you can appeal. Sometimes they have limit to that. And if you will just appeal and appeal without actually checking what's going on, then maybe Amazon will no longer allow you to submit an appeal. They will immediately decline any future submission. So trying to understand it, collecting information. If you need some time, please do so. Don't submit anything that is missing, because if you come to that point that Amazon will automatically reject your appeal, they will always reference it back to your first submission, regardless if your what you're submitting now are complete. So it will just make it difficult. Then yeah, troubleshooting processes, it varies per issue. It's different for standard inventory, it's different for hazmat, it's different for just retail contribution issue or buyback. So try to make sure that you have done all of the troubleshooting processes before you raise a case. So that your cases will be transferred immediately to the leadership team. And last step is escalating it. It's either through their leadership team, or also you can email Jeff Bezos, Jeff at Amazon.com. It's actually working.
Is that really his
So for
email?
some of our, yeah, because the that Jeff at Amazon.com, it's not actually Jeff who will like review that case. It's like just some
Yeah,
of their from their team to yeah, and see what's going on there, and it works. I mean, not every time, but it is working.
love
And
that.
also, it takes some time to get a reply.
Yeah, I love that it's Jeff at Amazon. That's funny. Awesome. Okay, I'm going to pose another question for you. So, what is a gap review, and should you conduct one for your account?
Yeah, a gap review is just more of understanding of like where are you now with your Amazon business? Because I mean, the goal of like the reason why you started your own Amazon account is actually to free yourself from working 8 to 5, like 5 days a week, or even say 6 days a week, and
Right.
you have to grow. So and then when you're growing, you have to hire people. You have to have someone on your team that can support you. And doing a gap review will actually help you with understanding of like what do you really need to delegate? Who is the team or the one that you need to hire to do this? Because it's not just randomly, I feel overwhelmed right now, I need one person and then I will hire him. But you and then that person join, and that person also don't know what to do on your account, because
Mhm.
they have this different specialty or skills. So yeah,
Right.
doing this one will help you know like where you are with your, are you profitable enough? Are you having issues with your PPC? Are you having issues with your catalog right now? Is it not indexing, or is not helping with or supporting your marketing efforts? So yeah, that's what I can add there.
Thank you. Yeah, and I think we'll dive into it a little bit more here.
Mhm. Sorry, I'm just drinking water. I'm
No, it's
talking too
good.
much, so I feel
Hydrate.
like yeah. So yeah, it's just really evaluating the aspect of where you are now with your Amazon account, so that you can identify the support or the help that you need to make your Amazon grow. Because the thing is, don't hire too late. Actually, I have that on the next slide. But then yeah, it's for you to also highlight what are the steps that you need to do for you to actually reach the goal, the revenue goal that you said, or even just be more successful or have more cash to generate. And also to get a different perspective, also where you are now, or maybe even ask someone, an expert, of like what you need to do and what you need to do right now. and
Mhm.
implement that triage, which is we call it like impact, effort, and prioritization. Because there will be a lot of things that you need to do on your Seller Central account, especially when you're on that scaling stage. So making sure that the one that you will do has a massive impact with low effort so that you can prioritize it. And then once you identify that, then it will be much easier for you to hire and delegate. Can you help me move to the next slide?
Yes, sir.
So thank you, Katie. So yeah, these are just some of the gap elements that you need to look at, just checking your Seller Central backend, because maybe sometimes there are just information that are not correct, like for the FBA settings that Amazon maybe are incorrectly disposing it. For sellers, especially for the new one, you also have to check the stranded inventory settings because it's different to the unfulfillable inventory settings. If let's say you set the unfulfillable inventory setting to be removed, you have to check the stranded inventory setting because Amazon is actually giving you 30 to 90 days to fix the listing or to fix the stranded issue. And if you don't, Amazon will automatically dispose it if you don't set it to be returned. So make sure that you check that. The reason why I'm saying this because a lot of sellers that I dealt with in the past, Amazon disposed them up and they are asking us to ask Amazon for reimbursement, but Amazon will not reimburse you because it's part of their policy. It's for you to check your Seller Central account. Um, Another thing, listing errors. So for you to see if like maybe you just need someone, a flat file expert. Marketing overview, maybe you need someone's a PPC expert. Buybacks issue, maybe you need someone a technical, knowledgeable, who know how to work with Amazon when it comes to buybacks and suppression. Account health issues, who really know, because for account health issue, you really need to have someone who's creative enough in writing appeals because Amazon will always decline it. And also aside from being creative, they already know and understand the Amazon ecosystem so that you don't have to like start from step one. And yeah, another thing is if let's say you are really doing well in your US marketplace and you want to expand in the European marketplace, this one is actually a big topic to cover because in the UK there's a lot of requirements like the VATs and also with the Brexit that happened. So it will be a different registration now in the UK. And if you want to expand to the European marketplace, you need to have at least one marketplace active. And also, yeah, same thing, you will have a VAT registration, and you need to also have someone as a representative that who will do all of the filing in your behalf on a monthly basis.
Gotcha.
Next slide, please.
Awesome. Quick
Any
question.
questions for
I
you,
was
Katie? Yeah, go on.
more out of curiosity, how often would you recommend that people do these reviews?
I'd say on a quarterly basis, but if you have time, actually to do it on a monthly basis, especially the PPC or even the listing optimization. Just check the indexing, what's going on the the keyword trend if you're even monitoring or tracking your keyword performance. So
Okay, perfect.
yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. So hey, this part here, this is the one that I said earlier, by identifying the impact of like what you need to do. After identifying all of those gaps that is currently missing on your seller account or on your Amazon account, then maybe expansion is actually something that I really need right now. Or maybe I'm doing really bad with my PPC. I need to have someone who can help me with this. And then once you identify that one, then it will be much easier for you to hire and delegate. And maybe you can also personally, anything that you don't like to be doing. One of my friends told me that I hate the bookkeeping part of doing e-commerce. Maybe this is just something that I can delegate. Yeah, I mean, but for me, I love it. So it varies depending on where you are right now and what you're doing in your business. So the goal is, yeah, to stress out of knowing of like what you should be working on and what are the things that you can delegate.
Yeah, I mean that's great
Next
advice.
slide, please.
'Cause I'm that friend that would be like, "Can you do my bookkeeping?" So not everybody is operated the same way. So I think that's great advice.
Oh, maybe we can talk and say I can guide you on how to do the bookkeeping. I really loved it.
Yeah, give me like a 101 course.
No worries. Okay, yeah, for the cost time analysis, or which is actually more on the effort, evaluating how much time you need to put into that thing that you need to do and how much it will cost you. That's really important because once you've added both the impact analysis that you did earlier and then also understanding the cost and the time, then it will help you to like finalize everything and prioritize it based on the what will be the impact on your Seller Central account or on your Amazon business. Right?
Next.
Next slide. Yeah. So yeah, when you have this gap system review, then you will get a very fresh perspective on where you are right now. It will help you know and understand the things that you need to do for you to achieve your goals. And then yeah, we can quickly scale your business. And also maybe you have to also have to write some SOPs first before you start hiring. Because the goal is to not micromanage these people. It will be hard for you to have someone and you're expecting them to do what they need to do, but they're actually sometimes they also don't know what to do and how to do it. So you have a tendency of micromanaging them, or sometimes the things that they are doing are not even transparent to you. So those are the challenges of hiring someone to as an addition to your team.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Nobody likes a micromanagement.
And
Awesome.
yeah, just for before I continue with this one, maybe someone has a question or that I can
Yeah.
answer.
Yeah, there's a few questions. So, someone had asked, what's a piece of advice that you would give someone who's maybe just starting their journey on Amazon?
Always it's just really checking the help pages of Amazon when it comes to restriction and compliance. I mean, I maybe not the right person to give you right now an advice when it comes to PPC. I did PPC actually. I love numbers. I do an analysis, but my specialty right now is more of the catalog and FBA. And on that aspect is making sure that you are fully compliant, because the last thing you would like to happen on your Seller Central account or maybe on your listing is to be suspended.
Yeah,
So
good advice. Awesome.
yeah.
And then there was one other question. Do you have any suggestions on where I could follow or keep up with the latest Amazon changes or the trends that are, going on?
One thing that I do is I always check what's new or the news on the Seller Central account. It is really helping me a lot. But then outside of Amazon, there's a lot of people that I follow on LinkedIn. One of them is 8Fig. So they share a lot of information actually of like what's going on, what's gonna happen, what are the changes. So there
Mhm.
are people that are flat file experts, FBA experts, or just someone who would like to give you what they expect to happen in 2024. If you do that, I love LinkedIn because I mean I love Facebook, but sometimes it's too toxic for me.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I've had Facebook
so
for a couple of years now, so
but LinkedIn they provide a lot of value too.
yeah, definitely. Well, thanks for the 8Fig shout out. We definitely put out a lot of content. So if this is your first time tuning into a webinar, we do a lot of these. And then if you follow us on social, we always have, tons of content we're putting out to help our sellers, our customers, all of that. So cool.
Mhm.
Keep moving along.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. So this is just to give you guys an idea more of like how our Seller Candy can supercharge your business. Can you help me move it to the next slide, maybe? So yeah, right now our team, because with everything that I've shared earlier, is actually the key there is just make sure that you have an experienced agent or even a former Amazon employee, because they already know what to do. The challenges about Amazon support that I haven't mentioned earlier is they have so many departments, and these departments they are not working well together. Sometimes you just have to work separately with the seller support team about catalog or FBA, and then once you got that information and confirm that they did the update, you have to call back the seller performance team and tell them that hey, for this case ID, they already did the change, yada yada yada, and also sometimes you have to raise cases through brand registry team or even on the storefront team or on the advertising. So having someone who really understand this will really help you achieve the goal that you I mean to for you to scale your business much faster. With Seller Candy, you don't need to hire, you don't need to train, because we will be the one to manage them because we already have an existing team. You don't have to worry about things getting done, because me personally, I will also be looking after everything. Like, where are we with this one? We have an internal process of an escalating things why it is not getting resolved, so that we can also set um proper expectation and yeah, being transparent through our ticketing portal. We are communicating to you on a daily basis and tell you what's going on every single day. And of course, having someone will help you to for scalability and redundancy. One thing that you have to avoid when you hire someone is just like rely on that one person, but that one person sometimes will get sick or will have to go travel, will have to go away, then you will worry who will be doing it. So having the team like Seller Candy, we have 50 plus agent. Like if someone really need to leave, then someone will take over, and we can support you across all marketplaces, not only the USA or Canada or Mexico, even the European region, or if someone's selling in Japan, Australia, Singapore, we do offer our support there. And yeah, we also help you guys with the data and reporting using the sales information. Right now, we don't have any integration. Me, I did this one. I'm doing this one manually. I download several reports on Seller Central account and then combine them so that I can project how much inventory you really need for the next 3 months, considering, of course, the information that I will get from you, which is the lead time, or also if do you need a safety stock, and where are you sourcing the product? Because those are the important information that you need to factor in projecting inventory. And lastly, yeah, if you need any support with Amazon reimbursement, our team can also do that one, because with the reimbursement, Amazon will allow you to actually claim back up to the last 18 months. If you haven't done anything on the reimbursement, make sure you have someone, maybe not Seller Candy or someone you know, to ask them to run the report on your Seller Central account and raise cases on your behalf. And usually you will get thousands of dollars in there.
Amazing.
So that's what Seller Candy can do.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm realizing at the beginning, I don't even think I introduced myself. I'm Katie over at 8Fig. So we're a funding and growth platform. So if you're looking, to maintain a healthy cash flow, have some working capital in 2024, definitely come chat with us. So we'll do questions now if there's any more. If you want to drop those in the Q&A, and then you can also, to learn more about 8Fig and Seller Candy, our QR codes are there that you can scan. We do have one question, Arvin, for you. So what should be So someone said, what should be my biggest focus for Amazon for my Amazon store in 2024?
Well, I mean, I for me it's really the PPC, but I'm not the right person to speak right now about the PPC or like marketing, because even maybe even outside traffic, because if maybe you have a really good listing or you have a very optimized listing, but you're not doing any effort in advertising it or launching it or getting reviews. So yeah, for our team is just more of like operational support in making sure that there will be no delays. Like for example, you have a strategy of optimizing and launching your product, but then suddenly your listing got suspended, and that will delay everything.
Yeah, I think that's great. I think PPC is definitely like super important, especially if you want to be profitable and you want to, stand out against the competition. Cool. Awesome. Well, Arvin, thank you so much for joining us. And those who tuned in, if you do have any questions, feel free to reach out to either of us. We're happy to answer those questions and help you out. Again, Arvin, thank you so much for joining us and being a part of the webinar today. We really appreciate it.
No worries. Happy to share.